Hello, good day. Welcome. Thank you for joining us in another episode of our Lunch and Learn series where we talk to real people, we share real stories for real impact. And today's episode is very interesting. I'll tell you that. I have with me in the studio a young woman who is absolutely on fire for God. Her name is Deborah Ibukunoluwa ADEROGBA, and she's a leader, she's a language specialist, she's a policy advocate, she's an author, an artist whose life goal is to make an impact across her field with her professional and creative skills. Her NGO, Art as a Healing Therapy, employs art as a therapeutic technique for patients through which she has made impact in over 15,000 patients in 2 continents. I read that again, 15,000 patients in 2 continents, bridging the gap between art and the health sector. And I'll tell you, that is such a necessary need right now in today's world. Her passion is to see the development of Africa Lusophone, that's African Portuguese-speaking countries, leads her on a quest to pursue policy development for advocacy. Can you join me as I welcome Deborah Ibukunoluwa on stage? Welcome, 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 welcome. Oh, it's so good to see you. It's so good to see you. We've been planning this for what? Over a month?
Yes, actually. But Saratus, it's really great pleasure to be here, and I
Yes.
can't really wait for all the juice. Actually, thank you so much for the
Absolutely.
invite. I am
Absolutely.
really here.
Absolutely. We are excited. Our audience is ready. I'm ready. Just because of this conversation today, I have on my colorful, my colorful sweatshirt. I have Ankara pants on,
Oh, that's so nice.
just expressing ourselves. So, anyways, the link is out and available. We're going to share it across all platforms so we can get going in our conversation today. Art is important. I want to hear from you, just for you to lead us into a little bit of introduction of what art therapy is and how it works. As I was sharing earlier today, I'm wearing art. I have a piece of necklace on here. I don't know if everyone can see it, but it's a really tiny. It has a mustard seed on it and a mountain. It has a mustard seed standing on top of a mountain, and that's what I wear. It has significance to me. That's art, right? The way I style my hair is art. The Ankara pants that we talked about is art. Using coloring pencils, coloring sheets, all of that is art. But I want to hear from you, Ibukunoluwa. What is art therapy? And really, how does it work? Why is our conversation today important?
So thank you so much, ma'am. And as I said, thank you so much for the invite, and it's really great pleasure to be here. And for me, I believe that this topic is one that is really relevant in our day, and I think it's one that we've not really paid attention to. And I also know that many people really have questions of, okay, what exactly is this art therapy about? How exactly does it work? I've actually gotten some questions like this, and I think this is also a very great platform to really share what exactly it is about, really. So I'm going to give a simple analogy before I go more into the complex. Okay, I wouldn't really want to start with um maybe medical terms right now, but I'm going to just start from the basic level so that you get to understand it while
Mhm.
go deeper. Okay, so generally as humans, when you are down, when you feel like you're so stressed out, when you feel like, oh, I think I've done a whole lot of things, and or maybe after the day's work, one of the ways I actually want to release your tension, you feel like you want to be better, is by you listening to music, or you deciding to watch a movie, right? Or you deciding to, maybe during your vacation, you just want to go out, you want to explore nature, you want to visit the cinema, you want to just engage in different activities that would really, really, make you feel better. And that in itself is actually art. Music is art.
Mm.
Filmmaking is actually performing arts, right? So the
Yes.
movies you're watching, and then you would also realize that even for paintings in homes, they actually have their therapeutic, what's it called, functions, because there's a way they bring life, there's a way they bring color, there's a way they just reduce the old tension in the space, there's a way it
Mm.
just brightens things up. So, and the thing is that many people really do not, people actually feel it, but they've not come to the understanding that this is actually what is happening. This is the
Mm.
science behind all of these things, really. So that is actually just therapy at its basic level for general individuals. I mean, things that we actually engage in every single day. Now, if I'm now to now talk more about the scientific aspect, now I'll say art therapy is an aspect of psychotherapy. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, generally for in hospitals, or let me say in medicine, right? We have physiotherapy, you have the psychotherapy. Generally, patients are treated, with medications just for them to like really, really feel well. And then maybe afterwards, they are taken to like rehabilitation so that, I mean, they can actually get back to the society the same way they were before the incident. So most of the times, you pay more attention to physiotherapy. For instance, if a person probably had an accident, and then they what's it called, the physiotherapists now begin to like help the person to walk better, help the
Mhm.
person to be able to, interact better with people, move, and all of that. But the thing is actually that there is a psychological aspect to healing.
Mm.
There is a psychological aspect to healing. Most people, when they are sick, they are down.
Mm.
They don't want to talk to people. Even you see patients in hospitals who don't want to take their drugs, who don't have hopes, they are just there. And all of these things actually contribute to they not recovering on time.
Mhm.
Really, it is just science and it is just psychological. You would say a person who would really say, oh no, I'm actually going to leave this place. Oh no, I have to like get out of here. People will like encourage themselves. Even the drug will work better, and it is just
Mm.
psychology. But when people are just down, they don't want to do anything, it actually reduces the rate at which they would actually recover, right? And there's also what is called dopamine in the brain, right? Dopamine is one of the elements in the brain, and it actually helps you to, it elevates your mood, and then it actually also helps you in the way you actually receive whatever is actually coming in. I mean, the stimulus from the society, or let me say
Mhm.
from your environment, really. So it
Mhm.
actually and it affects your mood, it affects your stress level and all of that. And art therapy really, really contributes to this. So on the higher level, art therapy actually really, really works. And there are people that we actually call art therapists. I mean, these are even people that are more skilled in that area, who are like very, very certified. And so they know the necessary colors to use, because it
Mm.
really, really works to the brain. They know the necessary colors to use. And then they can even tailor, they can tailor every patient's need or necessity to actually what exactly they need. They know the type of music you actually need to listen to, right? They know the type of music that actually works for different illnesses, and they actually really, really work. So I really hope that people have gotten a little bit of more understanding about what art therapy really is.
No, that was a beautiful introduction. And as you were speaking, you talked about two things that was coming to my mind. The way you mentioned the dopamine, right? It's the same rush you get with like sugar and certain substances. When
Mm-hmm.
you find children, on the game and wanting to play games, it's the same rush, right? That
Yeah.
they're getting from even art therapy. And then you mentioned something about, colors, colors. And I remembered an article I read the other day about how, sometimes it's commercialized. You walk into a store and everything is organized to get you to buy, right? The fragrances that you perceive when you walk into the store, the music, which is art, right?
Mm-hmm.
How everything is color coded and
Just
organized,
there.
sending signals to your brain for you to take a particular action. So yes, art is actually powerful. And I love the way you
Very,
introduced
very.
Well, our audience, we have, parents in the house, we have teachers in the house, we have educators. So, what would you say is the difference between art therapy and just a regular art class? You know, and there are different times where we might give a child a coloring sheet to work with. Maybe we have Sunday school teachers on on the call right now. We know we do a lot of things, but what makes art therapy even different, or are they one and the same?
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. And I love the question. The question is really, really very, very great, and I think it actually has a lot of in depth in it, and I would really explain. So as I said, as I explained before, I mean, I talked about therapy on the general scale, what exactly we interact with in our day-to-day lives, and then I now went more into, I mean, the psychological aspect, and the same works with arts. What's it called? Doing arts with kids and also really, really involving them. Now, generally anybody can easily take a color, or let me say a coloring sheet, and say, okay, begin to paint this, begin to mix these colors and all of that. That is on a general scale. A fine art student can do that, a teacher can also do that, right? However, there are actually studies, right, to actually knowing what exactly would fit a student or a pupil better. For instance, there are some children that are autistic. I think about 2 months ago I took a course on artistic expressions for autistic children. So
Mm,
there are ways you can actually coin out, or you can actually curate a special therapy kit for them and what they would exactly engage with. So they are definitely not engaging. They're not just painting. It has more of an it has more of both emotional and then psychological healing for them. So it is you really, really knowing what exactly the needs of a child is. Some people actually suffer from ADHD, right?
mhm,
All of these people, they really do not just need general heart works, right? So there are there's a study to it, and so it's not just general. So, but a person who is really, really experienced in it can really say, oh yeah, for this child, this is what this child really needs to like experience, or this is what this child really needs to, explore more. And then they would begin to the child such a child would actually begin to see improvements, right, either in colors or either even in cognitive skills or even in
mm,
coordination. There are some children that don't just like to like be amidst the crowd. They just want to like be alone. Some of them actually, some children also have like even psychological defects, right? So there are actually therapeutic arts, therapeutic expressions for these children that can actually be employed. So it's not just they coloring, it's not just they taking their brushes and their paint and they just trying to like draw circle or anything. It's actually deeper. And then apart from the fact that it is deeper, the process of actually leading the child into
mm.
the atmosphere or even during the process is actually even therapeutic on its own, because you're letting the child know that you're not just painting, right? You are expressing yourself, you're expressing your emotions. There are
Mhm.
times that if you actually some children are actually depressed. It's not only adults or youth that are actually depressed. There are times that you would, by the time an art therapy, for instance, speaks to a child, depending on whatever the child is actually going through, and tell the child, okay, this thing that you're actually doing, you may actually tell the child, okay, express whatever is in your heart or whatever you feel like you are going through, okay, just express it in colors. You'd realize that such a child might decide to like pick certain colors which are sensitive, and they would actually be able to express things that they might not even have been able to say with words. That
Yay.
teach,
Mm,
right? And from there,
mhm,
another therapist can easily get what exactly is happening. And so by the time and then by the time there are also explanations into it, the art therapy lets the child know that, okay, this and this and this and this is why you're going to paint this is why you're going to do this is why you're actually going to do that. This is the art type of art that you're even going to like um engage yourself with. It's not just, not everybody would paint, right? Some people
yes,
can actually do
yes,
more of sculpturing, some people can
yeah,
actually do more of there. Yes, there are these small balls that they can actually use like form different things. So different ones can actually work for different children depending on what exactly they want. So
mm,
art therapists can really, really help a child in this, and it's actually an area that I really want to like explore more. Even right now that I'm here in Ilorin, I want to like volunteer with the behavioral science department of UIT, that's Uni Lawrence Teaching Hospital,
Okay.
at least for a few months. Yeah, with I'm hoping to like really, really work with their autistic children, right? So it's not
Mm.
just general arts. It's not just general arts. It's actually really, really specific. Yeah.
Oh, and that is so beautiful to hear. I love the fact that you're also niching down to a very, very special group of children that are close to
Yeah.
the heart of God. And I'm trusting that God will help you crack that code as well. Because yes, they have
Amen.
emotional needs, they do have
Mhm.
psychological needs, and they, especially for the non-verbal, as they, as a term, they
Yeah.
they have lots of, they want to express themselves.
Yes, but they
They want,
can't.
but they can't. They can't. So I really, really like when you brought up that art as a form of expression. And it's not
Mhm.
just, the difference between a coloring pencil in the hand of maybe a novice like I am versus in the hand of a professional is that you understand the science behind it. You're
Exactly.
instructing with intention. There's an
Exactly.
objective in mind. It's not just a piece of paper because some parents will say, "Oh, what is it that they are doing?" It's just it's just coloring, it's just music, but there is depth to it. There is really a
Definitely.
science that's backing this up. So can you just speak a little bit to, you know, some of the benefits from arts therapy? You touched a little bit on for autistic children, expression, emotional regulation, and whatnot. But who can really benefit from arts therapy? There are some we mentioned that have ADHD, and actually I've seen this for children that it's very it's difficult for them to focus on a task.
Mhm. Yeah.
Something that is encouraged is okay, puzzles working. It may be just, 5-piece puzzle, 10-piece puzzle, and you graduate 20, 50 pieces, etc. But being able to help them work on a small task for a short period of time and they begin to train themselves as they go. It's also still working with the hands and working with the mind to solve a problem. So can you talk to us a little bit about some of the common areas where parents can see immediate benefits? No, let me say mid short to long term benefits from arts therapy. We want to know. I'm sure our audience are curious.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, ma'am. I think I'll first of all talk about the set of people heart therapy really, really resonates a lot with, and then I'll now go into the
Okay,
benefits, what exactly
okay,
they
okay,
really
okay,
stand to
okay.
gain.
Thank you.
Yes, by the time they actually, I mean, really, really engage in art therapy themselves. Okay, so I would really say that art therapy really cuts across all age groups, right? So no
Hmm.
one is exempted basically, or no category of individuals, right? No category is actually exempted, from children and teens to adults and even to families, right? So even patients. Okay.
Hmm.
So generally for children and teens, you have some of them that have ADHD. There are even adults who have ADHD,
That's
right?
true.
Some of them also have anxiety and stress. Same for
Yes.
adults, right? Some of them have behavioral challenges. I mean, when especially in their what's called early stages, and you don't just understand why the child is just behaving like that. Some of them are reacting to the environment based on the way their brain is interpreting it. So
Hmm.
they may not even be able to like really, really control it, but it's actually a psychological defect that actually needs attention. And that really,
Hmm.
really happens to a lot of children, or let me say some children, really. And then there are also children who find it difficult to express their feelings, right? We've actually talked about non-verbal children, but then there are
Right.
also children who find it difficult to actually express their feelings, especially people who are like introverts. The parents are really, really asking, okay, what exactly is happening? Okay, why are you not talking? Speak to me.
Mm.
And the child is not just talking. The
Doesn't
child is not
just
just
know
speaking.
what to
The child is
say.
not just doing it. And the parents are just worried and they're like, what exactly do you want me to do? What exactly do you want me to do? I've tried every single thing that I can actually do. Such a child actually needs to see a therapist,
Mm.
really. And then there are some children that are also going through trauma and new difficult experiences. Same for teens. So, and some of these people may not really be able to voice out, but they can actually, when they actually see a therapist, they may actually be able to, you know, express that emotion, express whatever they are, express that experience and even their past in colors. And there have been cases where people would actually visit the therapist, and after expressing themselves, they cry, and even
Mm.
in that process, they heal things that
They
they've been
you.
bought
Yes.
for
Yes.
years, things that they've not like been able to like speak or even tell anybody. They're able to like express it in paper, or they're able to even express it in words. But that's with a person who actually has understanding, as you said, a person
Mm.
actually has insight, and then a person that also knows the right approaches, the right questions to actually ask, and the right means to actually help them express themselves.
Mm.
So there
Mm.
are some children that are also like probably experiencing grief, some are experiencing loss, some even have low self-esteem. art
Esteem.
therapy really really Art therapy is really really good for them. Now I'm going to talk about adults now. Most adults actually experience work stress and burnout, and I feel like this is so common. By the time you come
Mm.
back at night, by the time you're done with the day's work, you just feel like,
Just
guy, I
done.
am just so tired. And then you feel like, no, you just want to, there's some people who resume work, and then in a month, after a month that they resumed work, they just feel like you want to go on vacation again, right? And that's actually one of the reasons why it's actually good to also, include all of these things even in your work life, even as you're
Right.
working. Even at the basic level, you would realize that while you are working, if you just take maybe a Saturday out or maybe a moment out, and maybe in your organization, you guys have sort of like a staff party, or you have more of like a sip and paint, you would actually realize that you would actually be better. That the tension in your brain would actually reduce, and that is even therapy on its basic level,
It
really.
is.
So if that can
Yes.
actually happen, right, on the basic level, what's more, or how more when you now really 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 engage in the activity itself with a professional. Okay. And then there are also adults who are also like dealing with depression. Those are also like dealing with anxiety. And there are also adults that are dealing with chronic illnesses. I'm going to come to patients. I'm actually still going to come to patients. But there are
Okay.
also adults that, they're trying to like just adjust to life changes. A lot of things are just happening here and there. I know they just probably, they're just in a situation where lots of things are happening, and they cannot just focus, right?
Mm.
Art therapy is really really a great way for them to really really get out of that void and actually feel themselves as being whole again. Then people that actually feel like they really do not have emotional support can actually really, really see art as a strong means to actually foster their emotional well-being, and even cognitive well-being, really.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to talk about special populations, and when I'm talking about special populations, I'm talking about patients. I'm also talking about, the challenge. Now, for patients in hospitals, all patients actually need her therapy sessions. And I think I would want to like probably share a clip or two concerning maybe our past, especially the past art therapy session that we had,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we basically even had this art therapy session for many outpatients, and you see the way they came, and the way they actually felt afterwards. The
Mm-hmm.
story is just different, and even from the comments of the doctor, you will really know that there is actually a whole lot of difference between how they actually
Right.
came and how they are going. So if they can actually experience that more, it would really really help. Adults that have high blood pressure, adults that have hypertension, people that are just like, they're just thinking and then they are just worried, art therapy is really really good for them. It would help them focus. It would reduce that tension. It would reduce that stress. It would help them to be able to focus more, and they would actually be better. Now, for even the challenge, let me say like physically challenged and all of that, some of them might actually be challenged in an area, but would actually be really really strong when it comes to therapeutic art, or when it comes to even artistic expressions. There are some
Mm-hmm.
people who could actually, some people are actually blind, but they can actually sing well. Some might actually be lame, but they can actually paint well. So it's basically more or less like saying that, oh, they actually have a deformity in an area, but then it's now combined to a whole big strength in a particular area, and they're able to like do so well in it. So
Oh
you
yeah.
cannot just say that because this child is probably physically challenged, or this child cannot do this and that, you now just forsake the child, or you feel like the child is not good for anything. No,
Oh,
I
not
mean,
at
the child
all.
actually has a whole lot
Not
of
at all.
goodness in him or her. What you
Yeah.
really need to do is to actually spotlight it and then help the child to express him or herself in the best way that they can, really. So I think I've talked about the different categories. Yeah, and then I also talk about adults, no, and then even the elderly. The elderly. Now you see many what's it called? You see many elders that actually suffer from amnesia. I see some of them
Yes.
that suffer
Yes.
from what's it called, forgetfulness and all of this. Art therapy really, really helps them. It helps in their cognitive functions, it helps them to focus more, and then it also really, really improves their brain, because by the time you are probably like painting, you're trying to like see, okay, what color should I mix together, where should I put this, where should I put that. So it's
For
really,
the
really strengthens
executive functioning. Yeah.
their, exactly, it strengthens their thinking capacity too, even though
Mm.
they might have probably left school a very, very long time ago, but it actually helps them. It helps them with remembrance, it helps their cognitive skills, and even they're also able to like interact with people, especially
Mhm.
when it's also like done collectively. It's also very, very beautiful. I think I want to share a video. I feel so tempted to share this video.
Please, please go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead
Please
and
let
do
me
that
just share it.
as you're pulling up the video. It's so true. I will
Yeah.
confess myself, I have adults coloring books.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
nice.
sometimes I go ahead, I color myself. Sometimes I
Yeah.
color when I'm praying. It helps to keep me soothed and calm, and because usually when you're just feeling like there's just too much going on, so there's benefits to that as well. So I'm
Yeah.
encouraging all of our audience to please get coloring books for our grandmas and our grandpas as well.
We
It-
actually have a painting. We have a painting guide right now that we are
okay.
launching in 2 weeks. Yeah. So I
Mm-hmm.
believe that this would really, really, really help as well. Okay, I'm trying to share my screen. Um,
Is
I
it a
think this
link?
is.
Is it something I can help you share on my end?
I think I can just share it here.
Okay. Okay.
I can share it here. Really. Um, just getting this thing. Okay, I think I should just share. Mm, okay. I think I'm having a little bit of challenge sharing this.
Okay.
Um,
If you send it to me on WhatsApp, I should be able to share on my
the
end.
the video is actually a
It's an
sort of a
audio, it's a
long
file.
video. Yeah, it's
Okay.
a file and it's quite heavy. So I'm just trying to share all. I'm just trying to like probably just share my screen so that I don't have
Okay.
to like um upload first and all.
Yeah. You should be able to
So
present. Mhm.
yes, I should be able to. I really should be able to. Let me see share.
So either present video file or present share screen. One of the two should
Share
be.
screen, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see this.
Okay, while we're doing that, are there any questions from our audience?
Yeah, we can
Anything
actually
at all?
this question.
It's working now?
Mm, almost, almost. Coming. Um, okay, let me see. I think it's uploading. I think I'll
Okay.
just continue to speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Whenever you're ready, you can share it. So I'm super excited about the next question because we've mentioned some benefits of art therapy. We've talked about how important it is, whether you're a child or an adult or an elder. These are valuable tools to help support our emotional well-being.
Okay. Yeah.
I wanna ask, can we lean in a little bit more? Can you talk about some practical strategies or tips that parents can adopt at home if they want to integrate art therapy in the home setting? What are some things that we need to have, budget friendly, of course? What are the steps? What do we need to do at home if we want to really hone in on being able to support ourselves, our children, our family, emotionally, our wellness? What are some things we can start doing at home?
Okay. Thank you very much, Ma, for that question. And I think for me, I believe that every family should actually integrate heart therapy in their homes. But I think a very, very good way is to at least once in a while, you could even start this Christmas, and is that you guys can all participate in an art therapy session. Now, as an organization, we are launching our art therapy guide in few weeks, and it's actually
Mm-hmm.
going to be very, very. It's going to be free. It's an ebook, a free ebook for you to, really, really see. And I believe that it's actually really, really going to help you. So you would actually see different ways you can actually engage yourselves, even as a family, the necessary materials you need to get. And the thing is, you don't need to break the bank. Once you get the necessary materials that you need, at a go, right? You can always reuse them. So, for
Yes.
instance, you could get canvases, if you could get paints, if you could get brushes, you can always reuse them. And the thing is, you guys can just have a very, very beautiful family time together where you just decide on what exactly you want to paint on. And even on the therapy guides, you have about, I think, 10 different images that you can actually paint, and then
Mm-hmm.
they are not just images, because you would begin to see the meaning. You see the meaning even beside the images. So for instance,
Right.
like actually just painting the sun, you're not just painting the sun, you're like creating a story around it. You know the significance, you see the color, you see how brightened it is, and then you also now have sort of like a personal relationship with the artwork. So anytime you actually see it, even if you are down, right, and all of that, it will speak with you, it will speak to you as a person, to speak to you as a family, and that's for me is like a very, very great one. I believe that every family should actually, every family should actually have that. So you can get you could actually download the art therapy guide, which would actually be very, very easy to use, and then get just the materials for yourself, and then you would be able to, have the what's it called session. And then you could also begin to, I'm trying to see if I can add this to the screen. Okay, I think there's an art therapy book here. I think you should
Okay.
be able to probably add it to the screen if you can.
Okay, let's
Um,
see. The catalog.
Not the catalog yet, but it's actually here in the studio. I can see it here. I added
Oh,
it to
okay, I
this
see. I see.
file.
Okay, so which one?
Yeah, the
Um,
my art therapy guide. Yeah,
my art
my art
therapy guide.
therapy guide.
Okay, this one. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So you could actually just download it, and you will see a lot of beautiful things there. You see the benefits of engaging in art therapy. And then if you even if you want to like get the products, you could easily just get them from us, and then you definitely get them shipped to you, and you can always use them. And then you could even, whenever you just make the art, so just use this to decorate your house. So you may necessarily not even need to like just go to, I mean, maybe a gallery and all of that, but it gets a very, very expensive artwork. Once you can do something by yourself as a family, you would always love it, and it would always be there. And you can always take time to really, really always do it. Then apart from that, it's that we would also like try to work on like musical sort of a musical collection that would
Mhm.
actually be very, very suitable for individuals to use. I mean, it's not when you are down or when you need encouragement, that's not the time that you probably begin to like listen to certain music, because they won't even help your situation.
It's
But
not
they
gonna help.
right, they won't even help your situation.
Mm.
but but there are certain music that you'd actually listen to that will just cool the atmosphere down, that will speak into your soul, and would actually make you really, really feel better.
You
And
know,
for me, I believe that parents should really, really encourage their children to really express themselves. I feel like art is really, really a very good way. In Nigeria here, it is really, really not as exposed as as Europe and even other foreign
mhm.
countries, because they really, really know the importance. I mean, they take it seriously. It is here that when anybody says anything about mental health, you think it is village people syndrome. Not knowing that, I mean, some things are just natural, and
Mhm.
with necessary help, and then with necessary things in place,
The
they can
support
definitely
system.
be better.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then
Absolutely.
apart from that, even for organizations, I would really advise that yes, organizations have like art therapy sessions um for their staff, even if it's like every quarter.
Uh-oh. Okay, let's give her a few minutes to get back. Well, as she is working on her network, oh, and it was working so well earlier. As she's working on our network, healing is all around us. It's so clear. Healing is all around us. For every parent that's wondering, okay, how do I even begin to start integrating art therapy in the home, in our everyday interactions? It is possible. It is possible. There are music playlists that you can create on YouTube. There are coloring sheets, depending on which part of the world that you're in. We have dollar stores. There are coloring sheets that are available that you can sit down together as a family and color. I've seen some coloring sheets actually attached to scriptures. So as you're coloring and using various, painting and markers, you're creating something new and also meditating on the scripture as well. Okay, she is back. Let's see. Are you back?
Sorry about
Are you
sorry
back?
about that.
No, no,
Yes,
no.
I am.
That's good. That's
Okay.
good. Okay. Yes, the floor is yours. You were finishing
Yeah,
up your.
yes, I was talking about organizations, and I think it's also like very, very good because you see many workers who are actually battling with mental health issues, right? They are underperforming at work. They are getting queries, and you really don't know what exactly is happening. And they
Mhm.
may really not be able to like voice out or easily pour out their minds because it's more of a professional environment. But by the time they actually engage in things like that, they would actually really, really feel relieved. And then they know that, yes, I mean, I can really put this aside and I can focus on this. And the thing is that art therapy creates connection. So if a workspace can actually do it for or can create that type of environment for the workers, there's no how productivity will not increase. It will
That's true.
definitely increase. It
It's
will
true.
definitely increase. And then the workers would even know that the organization cares for their health, the organization cares for their well-being, other than just wanting them to deliver and other than just wanting them to work
Mm-hmm.
at
Mm-hmm.
all times. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, it's very important. Even for rehabilitation centers, reform homes, a whole lot can actually go into it. With art in reform homes, with art in orphanages, those children who are actually going through a lot, but may not be able to like really, really express themselves.
Right, right.
Simple words, simple what's it called, artworks, paints, and all of that would really, 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 really go a long way. So the benefits are really, really the benefits are really limitless. The benefits are really limitless. And for me, it also really helps with meditation and reasoning. Like you realize that what you could actually take like an hour might eventually take you 3 hours because as you are painting, you now begin to your body becomes calmer and then you now even
Mm-hmm.
begin to like meditate on other things. You're able to like
You
think
think clearly.
deeply.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Art therapy
Mm-hmm.
really improves problem solving skills and also improves resilience. It just helps you and then you're able to, I don't know, but I feel like this happens to me. Anytime I feel like I am tensed, and then a whole lot is going on, I would actually forget few things. But once I'm able to like take a back step forward, or once I'm able to like take a step backwards and I'm able to like really cool down, you now begin to even
Yes.
recollect few things that you have forgotten totally. And that is what therapy really, really, really helps you with. Okay. So I think I would want to share the video now. I think okay, I think I have to share that. I think I have to share that. Let me see here. So that I could just share my screen.
Okay.
Okay. Can you share it, ma? Okay.
See, there's a way to make it bigger.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's
Wow.
one. And then let me share this other one. This is from a doctor. Let me see.
So we're not getting audio on our end. Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, but we can see the
okay.
paintings. We can see the
Oh,
elders. Yes, yes. But as they say, pictures, they tell 1,000 words. So
okay.
yeah, we can see it. We can see it.
Okay, then I think I may just need to pause this then.
Mhm.
Um,
We can see it. This is beautiful. I love the it's clear that this is impactful. I could see the beautiful smiles on the faces of our participants, and this is really good. The question I want to ask now is,
yes,
you
ma'am.
told us so many ways that we can start integrating art therapy within the home setting. I think I'm still hearing the video. I don't know why. Is that on my end?
Yeah, I think it should be
Okay,
paused now.
okay, okay, okay,
Yes, ma'am, I think you can
okay,
continue with the
okay.
questions.
All right. So here's the question that I have, and then as we begin to wrap up here, um,
Yes, ma'am.
for a patient, for a family that's craving connection, for a family that's thinking of ways to improve wellness, connectedness among their family members, looking for things, like we mentioned, there might be healthcare concerns that art therapy can be beneficial for. So if they're utilizing these tools in the home setting, how can we measure progress? What should success look like? And we've already seen some of the testimonies of your work, but for a parent that is saying, okay, I want to start doing this, how can they begin to measure progress?
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. Um, Basically, there are actually instruments that are actually used to, because since it's more of a psychological thing, right? Since it's more of psychological effects, you may really not be able to say, you may really not be able to quantify it, right? You may
Mm,
not be able to quantify it to say, okay, yes, maybe if it engages in it today, by tomorrow it would actually start speaking, right? But there are actually instruments to actually quantify it, especially with certified art therapists. However, basically here, let me say in Nigeria or maybe in many parts, that this has not really been fully implemented in, right? Um, is the way that you can actually really know, or that you can actually notice if your child is actually getting better, is one, their response during the program, or sorry, during the exercise. Okay, their response during the exercise. By the time a child is actually engaging in art therapy, there's a
mhm,
way their disposition would actually be. So, for instance, a child who was probably down, a child who was probably not talking, or a child who would just probably like keep to him or herself would actually, at the end of that therapy session, for instance, he or she would actually have a lighter mood, or he or she now wants like engage with you even in conversations. It may not just be a day thing. It could take like maybe 2 or 3 days or 2 or 3 times, depending on how you can really be patient with them, really. But the thing is that there are definitely improvements. And since it's more in the psychological area, especially for maybe for parents, or let me say for children rather, excuse me, for children that have, for children with autism, ADHD, especially for autistic children, you would actually realize that for many of them who do not want to like socialize with their mates, they would actually begin to improve, right? They
Mm.
may now want to just speak to just a person, and then before you know it, okay, speak to maybe just another person. They will not begin to like speak to everybody immediately or at once, but that improvement will definitely be gradual. So as much as it is actually occurring even in their, in their brain or in their psychology, it's also really, really going to really affect, and it's also really going to really be portrayed even in their day-to-day activities, their response, the way they now begin to behave. Okay, and even for like for adults like this, by the time you check their blood pressure, for instance, one of the things that the doctor said when he was giving his testimony about the art therapy session was that many of them had lesser blood pressure. People were like, and on the day we actually went for that outreach was hypertensive, um, hypertensive and their um hypertensive, and I think the hypertension, yeah, hypertensive, and I've forgotten the other name, but it was that it was like their clinic day. And so
Okay.
they recorded, yeah, they actually recorded a significant reduce in the blood pressure of many of them. There was a particular man that gave a testimony, and he said that okay, that for the past few weeks or so, that his blood pressure has really, really been on the rise, right? But
Mm.
now when he actually engaged in it, it was actually normal. It actually became better. So the more people actually engage in these things, it actually really, really works. And so for parents and children, you may really not be able to get the instrument to really, really measure what exactly is happening in their brain. But then even with the way they begin to respond to you, right, to the environment amidst them, to colors. There are some children who do not like certain colors, but with the way they actually improve, you will realize that they would be more comfortable in particular areas. They might be more comfortable sitting with other people. They might now want to like listen more, and it
Mm.
actually just get better like that. But you just need to be patient with them, especially for children with special needs. You need to be patient with them. And I would really advise that you also, more than you saying that you just want to do it yourself, it's good that you actually allow a professional to really, really help them,
Just support, to
them
support.
to like a therapist.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I love it. I love the fact that, hey, we have to have a goal, a therapeutic goal in mind, and then make incremental progress towards it. Know exactly what progress or success looks like, not having an unrealistic expectation of what success should look like as you begin these little tools and practice these activities and exercises
Mm.
with your events. One thing I'm curious about though is do you offer like virtual sessions? Um
Yeah.
the virtual
So
session. Okay, yeah.
yeah, thank you so much for that, Ma. We actually offer virtual sessions
Okay,
for both art therapy sessions and even just general therapy sessions online.
okay,
We
okay,
definitely offer those services, and you can, what's it called? You can actually see more on our IG page, right?
okay,
On our IG page, we actually have it there, yeah,
okay,
and then the
okay,
benefits, and even if you need a person, if you need a physical art therapist, maybe you want a person to probably come to your house and to really engage you in it. So that's also like
okay,
really available.
okay,
It's one of the services you
okay,
offer.
okay. Service you offer in Nigeria.
Yes, yes.
Mhm, mhm. Okay, wonderful, beautiful. I'm sure there's a lot more that I'm thinking in my mind right now, but we don't even have time to cover a few more questions. But let's wrap up with this. This has been engaging. I'm sure we've learned something. I'm actually being triggered right now, not triggered in a negative way, but I'm inspired. Maybe that's the word I should use. Inspired that hey, I saw the video of the art exhibition. I could see the smile and the joy in the faces of even the elders, so I'm almost tempted to put something together in our own community just for the elders. Let them have a sip and paint session, an experience that they probably haven't had. A lot of our elders here that are taking care of their grandkids, they're living with
Yeah,
their children, etc. So having something like that would also be beautiful, and we'll be happy to
exactly.
partner with you on getting that done. A lot of the church communities have like medical teams, community outreach departments. So
Yeah,
we think about finding ways to partner with those in the diaspora as well to bring this
yeah,
great work to light. Before we wrap up today,
All
I
right.
want to hear. I like asking all my guests this question.
Okay.
Not only to shed more light on the book that I wrote about a 13-year-old struggle with loss of identity and how that was recovered. I'd like to ask you, what story would you tell your 13-year-old self to help her get ready for the kind of life you're living right now?
Okay. So if there's a thing I would tell my 13-year-old self, it is that you should be expressive. You should be expressive. And I am saying this because I would say I'm an introvert, but I've really, really improved. But I was really sort of an extreme introvert when I was growing up. Yeah. At a point, as children, let me say as a child then, I felt like no one understood me. Or let me say I felt like my parents did not understand me. Then I felt like they didn't just understand me. That was just it. I felt like they didn't know who exactly I was. They weren't able to like track my emotions the way I was behaving at that point. And so I really, really kept so much to myself. At a point, I actually told myself that my parents were not the one who gave birth to me. Right. And so I was saying that, and I was giving myself different excuses, and then I would say, okay, maybe they adopted me, or maybe my mom realized after she gave birth to me that maybe the kids were exchanged in the world, all of those imaginations as a kid then. And so I just felt like my parents didn't understand me, and I was not expressive. I wasn't expressive, and I think it actually affected me. It affected me for a long time, because even though I occupied leadership positions even when I was in secondary school, I never wanted to like come out to express myself or to like address the school or address the students as it would be. I was the head girl, but if I had addressed the students, maybe it would have just been once. I just never wanted to. I was never expressive. I was just on my own. So if there was something I would have told my and there's something I would tell my 13-year-old self right now is that I you should actually be very expressive. Say whatever is in your heart, in whatever way you can express it, even if it is in words, express it, let everything out, and then also know that everyone loves you. Don't feel like the world is against you, and then find your tribe, find those you can really, really confide in, those that really really understand you. They may not necessarily be your parents, they could be mentors, right? Those that you can
Mhm.
easily pour out your mind to, those that will understand you and can even relate it to your parents so that they know how best to communicate with you or relate with you. I think it's actually very, very important. So if there's anything, I'll tell my 13-year-old self, and then I'll say my 13-year-old self should not be discouraged, because I delayed my artistic journey because of a discouragement I got
Mm.
from my dad. Yeah. So I know that it wasn't knowingly from him, and I'm not even sure that he probably realized that it discouraged me. But when I was age 12, I made an artwork. We were taught mosaic in school. And so we had a practical in school then, and then I decided to make one for my dad for his birthday. And so I
Oh,
made it. Yeah, I made it. To me, it was very beautiful. I bought beads, I did what I could do. And then I just realized that it was like my dad never really appreciated it. He didn't put it in his sitting room, he kept it in his room. It was just at a corner there. So, and then he didn't really, he actually told me thank you, but he never really liked it. And that really discouraged me from doing any other artwork
mm,
until I was now 19 years that I actually
mm.
started, that actually I got out of my shell, and then I started to really, really express myself.
And
So
how many
I
years
was
later
really
was that?
12 to 19, that was seven
Yeah,
years.
seven,
That
seven
was
years.
7 years. I feel like, yeah. So if not about, okay, 18, 19-ish, yeah.
Okay.
So I would really say that be expressive no matter what people would really say. Express
Mm,
yourself in heart, express yourself in words, and then really, really have people you can pour out your mind to. Yeah.
mm-hmm. Yeah. And as parents as well, giving room for the children to express themselves.
themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And try new things because you never know where strength can come from. So thank you for sharing your journey. As we close out now, there's lots of love in the chat. I don't see any additional
Thank
questions from our audience. Can you tell us how we can find you? Tell us what's coming up, how we can be a part of it. For you, we're all about supporting each other. Just tell us what can we do? How can we
Okay,
find you?
guys. Yeah, so thank you very much. I think a very good way and a very big way you can actually support what we do at Art as Any Therapy is really by following us, follow us on our social media handles, follow us on Instagram, Art as a Healing Therapy, follow us on Facebook, follow us on LinkedIn, right? And then we also now have an X account, so just follow us, engage our posts, like, comment, share, and then even apart from that, also get our products, because these products actually really help us with our operational activities. And so every single thing that is actually gotten from it really goes back into the organization. So when you are
Right.
getting a product, you're not only getting it for yourself, but then you're also making impact because you're actually contributing to societal development and you're actually contributing to actually making our work better. We are also really open to donations. We are preparing for an outreach next year here in Ilorin, and we are trusting that it's going to really, really be a very big one. So we are really open to donations right now. We are open to sponsors, we are open to partners, and really, really would really love to partner with you. Then for our products, yes, you have products ranging from t-shirts. Yeah, this t-shirt I'm wearing is from Art as Healing Therapy. I think you will see the logo a little bit. Yeah, and then we have about 10 different inscriptions, and the inscriptions are really, really so beautiful, right?
Mhm.
10 inscriptions, 5 different colors, and easily, you can choose anyone that you really, really want. Then we have our artworks also that are also for sale, and then we have our painting kits. Yes, if you go on our Instagram page, you'd actually see our painting kits. And seriously, you would really, really love it. You really love it. You would want to get and get over and over for yourself. Then our healing cards are also very, very important. They're like small cards that have words of encouragement in them. You can easily give them to people, even when you whether you're even celebrating your birthday. You can easily put them in party packs, or you can even do sort of like a personal outreach yourself. You could just decide to, always give a person a card every day, or maybe you just do sort of a street outreach and just donate those cards to people.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
come in different designs, different words
Mhm.
inside of them, and you don't know who exactly you would actually be touching, right?
Mhm.
Most times when my mom calls me, she'll tell me, "Oh, anytime I see that your card again, I feel happy, I feel this and all of that." So you really don't know whose life would actually be impacting with just a little card. Christmas is coming, yeah, right? We want to visit orphanages, and all of those things. And I believe that all of those things really, really go a long way. So these are ways I can both support us and also facilitate the work you do. If you need art therapy sessions, you can easily contact us. We'll definitely be there for you. Or even if you want get artworks, we'll definitely be there for you. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Ibukunoluwa. And indeed, the work is great. As we wrap up here, one of the things that came to my heart is the Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 14, which says that for the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters covers the sea. So when you were
Mm,
talking about the many expressions of your work, on a t-shirt, music, canvas, art therapy sessions. This is us proliferating the knowledge of the glory of the Lord.
yeah.
Proud of the work that you're doing. I'm proud of the NGO, and I can see many, many more impacts to come. So thank you for being a part of our conversation today. You've made it exciting, it's formative, it's been inspiring. And I can't wait. I can't wait to have you back. Actually, we have a confidence workshop that we're hosting in December. Again, it's for children. Some of the tips that you shared today, I'm hoping that maybe we can work something out where we can have maybe like a painting session or something like that.
Mhm. It
December.
will be nice.
virtually. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yes, thank you everyone. It's been a lovely conversation. Until next time. Actually, tomorrow's conversation, right? It's a buffet weekend. Tomorrow's conversation, I don't want any parents or educator to miss, because we'll be talking about creating systems for digital discipline. Digital
Hmm.
live in a very interesting times right now, and we do not want to be we do not want to be caught unawares. We don't want to be caught without the necessary tools we need to ensure that our children, wherever they are, they're able to be disciplined with technology use. They're able to be disciplined about what they see, what they hear, and how they interact with social media, because things are happening. And I'm having Taiwo Akinlami, a man who's had over 30 years of experience, really talk to us on this matter. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that tomorrow's conversation is one not to be missed. Please, please, please. So it's been fun, hasn't it, Ibukunoluwa? It's been
Yes,
fun
yes. I mean,
in this
I
conversation.
basically love the session. It's therapeutic for me. I mean, thank you so much for the invite. It's really great, interacting with everyone here and even your beautiful community. And I must really say that you're doing a very, very good job. I
Thank
mean,
you.
this is like so beautiful, and I love the fact that your topics also like range from different aspects. Yeah, to really, really ensure that I mean both parents and children are so balanced and so encompassing all that they do. And I think it's really, really so important. And I pray that God really blesses the work in your hand and He also like expands it and it really, really makes you have real time impacts in Jesus'
Mm.
name. Thank you so
Amen.
much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, sis. All right, everyone. Bye.
Au revoir.